helps people, know how to pronounce it, know how to say it. My daughter Cora.
Right?
It's Genese. It's super difficult to spell. It's super difficult to say.
Oh man, how was elementary school?
Yeah. What's funny is I'll tease my mom and I'll say, Mom, you named me Denise, and everybody asks how to spell it, how to say it. She goes, hey, at least your domain name is always free. I'm like, oh, Mom, you
smart mom.
She just so I
your
never can argue now.
Yeah, that is awesome.
My mom doesn't even know what a domain name is.
But seriously, thank you for having me. Thank you everybody for having me.
Yeah, Denise, where would people know you from on the internet?
So I am an author and I'm also a writer for video games. I write sci-fi, fantasy, thrillers, and then of course for whatever game contract I'm on.
Yeah.
I'm really excited actually about this sci-fi series because it's called the working title is Project Nitron, and it's Stanley's intellectual property.
Oh,
awesome. Yeah, and so it's really cool because it's a twist on a beloved lore that we all know, and it's really exciting. So it's a 3-book series that's going to be published in conjunction with TV series and movies and graphic novels. It's a very huge project.
Wow, that sounds ginormous. Yeah. Is there is this a totally new intellectual property, or is it something we would have seen in comics before?
It is.
Oh, okay.
It's a totally new intellectual property with Stanley, and it's exciting. You guys, it's super cool.
And tell us about your wee one. She said she's 3 3/4.
Yeah, so October 12th, she will be 4. Her name is Cora.
Cora. Cora's also probably involved in all the toys right now. It's a bit of a smorgasbord at Trisha's place.
I gotta say, you guys, this is an awesome playroom. Like, I mean, it is everything a child would ever want.
We feel pretty guilty that there's a bar in his playroom still. We're going to remove that eventually. That's like our hashtag child-free lives still remaining.
Oh man, that hashtag child-free still out there.
What if he grows up to be a bartender? Like,
I mean,
he just
might.
gets really good with
He's just going to be really good at making all the version drinks.
Yeah.
It's so cool that I finally get to meet you guys because I work with Tony Kim, who introduced me to Trisha. She did the Hero Within company. They make really cool Marvel and DC, really high-class clothes and blazers and custom polished shirts and dresses.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I met her at San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay.
And Tony was like, hey, you guys need to collaborate. We have so much in common,
Well, it's Nerds with Kids. You all have passions, dude. And trying to raise the little ones. Well, tell us a little bit about what it's been like in your household, trying to keep your hobbies and your passions alive while still raising up. Well, I guess at this point, 3 years into it.
Yeah,
right?
I have both Eric and I. My husband works in video games. We worked at Blizzard for 8 years. Now he works for Star Citizen, and we've always been kind of the mindset of just bring her with us, like enfold her into the routine, which really isn't a routine, right? Because you travel so much. And, people would ask me when I was pregnant, they'd be like, is the book tour gonna slow down, or are you gonna stop with the novels or this and that? I said, no, I'm just gonna bring her. I'm just gonna enfold her into the Comic-Cons and things. So I think I took about 4 months off, about 5 months before I started traveling with me, and she went with me to.
How's the conventions go with
I mean, of course, it's like Candyland visually for a child. So of course, for the first 2 years, she was like, there's Spider-Man, there's Deadpool, there's she could point out all of the.
That's awesome. Logan's still just like, there's a lot.
Yeah.
But when Janice and I met at Comic-Con, I had Logan in the front carrier, and you had Cora with you. And we were just like, what's up? Also having kids. Comic-Con.
Come to kids.
Yeah. So I think she really enjoyed it for a long time. We're thinking about you and all the Comic-Cons. And then she got a little bit, bored. Like, she's like, okay, this is my 50th con. And
she's been to more cons than me, too.
She's a grizzled veteran.
She's like jaded con goer now. She's like, another signing.
It's so true. It's been so now it's more like, okay, mommy needs to go for this weekend. I'm going to Chicago for a Wizard World convention. I'll do some authorship panels, some video game panels, and then I'll come back. So just 2 nights in and out, and she'll stay with Eric, or I have a nanny that'll come and watch her while he's at work.
Yeah.
So it was a blast because I felt like she could see me in my element and doing what I do to try to promote.
Yeah, bring your daughter to work there.
Characters, yeah.
That's interesting. I was going to ask you about that, if you travel with a nanny or not, but you did say, so sometimes you have a nanny.
Well, when she was young, my mom would meet me. She would fly to, whatever city it was in Philadelphia, or she'd
That's
come
a
to
good
San
grandma.
Diego.
Yeah.
She's so good. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. And she would, hang out with Cora. And then when she got older and kind of bored with it, then, I'd have a nanny stay maybe on the Friday that I fly out before Eric got home, and then he would be with her the weekend, and I'd come back Sunday night, and
Is there
start over again.
anything in here that's important because students is about to open
Please,
that.
yes, please. So inside the bag is all of the little characters that go in these vintage.
Oh, more toys.
So yeah, for all of you guys that are
More
watching, these are my
toys.
vintage toys that are actually my older brothers, and they've been passed down. I grew up in a family of 6 kids.
Oh.
So these toys have been passed down, to each child from my older brother all the way down to I'm 5th born, I'm 6.
Oh, wow.
That's impressive.
That's
So many kids.
awesome.
And this has survived not only, my family of 6 kids, but of course then, other
That's
families.
durability. That's
Yeah.
craftsmanship.
Yes.
Craftsmanship. Yeah.
That's
It's true.
also one of those things where it's like I look at this and it reminds me of a time in which westerns were still part of the North American zeitgeist, where it's like that's what the cool thing to play was. It wasn't robots, it wasn't dinosaurs, it was like westerns.
Cowboys and Indians.
Cowboys and
Right,
Indians.
look, there's a cowboy right there. Can you grab it? And
Is
there's
this
the
it?
kid. See? There's the kids.
So I'm not gonna do it. But that's impressive, and it's amazing because you think about it's hard because Disneyland is always a way to tell you that you're past the late majority when it comes to stuff. When Disneyland is getting rid of Frontierland because it's just not relevant anymore. You know that we're well past Cowboys and Indians now when it comes to what entertains the youth of America.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So guys, we're skipping ahead to take my room keys.
Yeah, let's do this.
Denise was nice enough to bring all this stuff. Please. So you said this was handed down for generations.
Yeah, so it started with my older brother. He was born in the 70s, and he had, all of these little cool characters, and they fit right into
The little
little swings, the little cars.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
It has this look, old-fashioned bell. Seriously, how cool is this? Little fireplace inside, a little
Hey,
stove.
Tyler, we do not take
Tyler?
we do not take things from other people. You say, "Can I please have it?"
Yes,
There
you
you
may.
go.
Very polite.
When we have we're just
Yeah,
starting
tell 'em.
with manufacturing, so we're just starting to make plastics basically in mass and quantity. So
Look at my board with there's a little harness, for pulling something. There's a little X-ray. I mean, it's cool stuff.
Yeah.
I enjoy playing with this, and I'm
No, this stuff is great. Oh, it's a little Bert. No, Ernie. It's Ernie.
It's Ernie.
Bert is the other one. It's a little Ernie guy.
And you're right about the craftsmanship. I realized that it is hardy, and it's thick, and it's very well made.
Yeah. And it lasts. Yeah.
Eric has a belt that was handmade, a handmade leather belt, and it's 20 years old, still brand new, but a belt that you buy at Sears, in 3 months, it's cracking. And man, it's so interesting how the craftsmanship is so different now, and things.
there was a controversy for a while where I think American Eagle actually admitted they made their shirts so soft, but the byproduct of that is that they degenerated after 3 months, forcing you to buy a new shirt.
Oh.
So that was a thing for a while.
How very iPhone of them.
Yeah. Planned obsolescence
Oh,
of shirts.
Explosion right now.
Yeah. Take that, Apple.
for out softwaring your
Yeah.
software. Yeah, man. This is
You and your
good.
kids
Yeah, this is
to
great.
play video games yet? Or
Tyler will play a little bit with me. He likes. I don't know if you ever heard of the game Gang Beasts.
Not yet.
It's his favorite game, and it's this really derpy game from an indie developer called Bone Loaf. And they're just these Teletubbies that just beat each other up and throw each other into fires and stuff.
Awesome.
It's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
And you could put on different costumes, and the costume he loves is the chicken costume. So he always says, I want to play chicken game. So that's like his favorite game to play.
I heard someone describe Gang Beasts as that it's like watching a bunch of drunk toddlers flail
Yeah.
around each other.
Which is maybe
That's
why
what
he
it
likes
looks
it,
like,
yes.
yeah.
You can relate. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've played that game on this channel before. On this
Yeah.
channel, we're constantly trying to find video games that we can play with our kids, even though they're so tiny, and board games and that kind of stuff. So yeah, what else have we had good luck with? Arms on the
Arms they
Switch
like,
was a win.
yes.
I think we did Aerostorm or Tower.
Tower Ball.
Tower
Tower Ball
Ball.
we played a couple times. Yeah, they seem to.
WWE
Yes.
was a good
We
time.
laid the smack down.
We're gonna do probably Kirby's Dream Land since that one we'll swap out. So we're gonna give that one a test.
And some Just Dance.
Yeah, just dance today.
Yeah, all good stuff. But thank you so much for bringing these. These are so
it's
very
nice
cool,
to
and the
go
kids
back.
are loving them.
Yeah, this is probably the most focused they've been in a while.
I know we actually have them all on camera at the same
It's
time.
very rare.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Logan's like, and that's my cue. Goodbye,
And
guys.
see
See
ya,
you
suckers.
later. But okay, let's move into boss battle.
Cool.
Who's got a good boss battle this week?
I actually do have one, but I will defer to our guest if you have a.
Okay, you go first. You go.
So mine is kind of traveling. Just leaving him is getting harder because he did this thing the other day that will like made me super sad. My wife came to pick up a stroller while I was at the office and I had to work, and she was taking him to Disneyland. And so I put the stroller in the car, and I'm like, bye, buddy, have fun at Disneyland. And he's like, can you come too? And I'm like, no, Daddy has to work. And he kind of looked around for a second, and then he just started bawling. And I'm like, no, this is like physically painful. Like no, that's right. I was flying. I had to actually fly somewhere that night. So, and like, I almost canceled the trip. I'm like, maybe I should just go to Disneyland.
no.
But then I ended up I was going to San Francisco. I ended up we hung out all weekend when I got back.
That's
And we
good.
just
You made it up
chilled.
to him.
Yeah, but like, it's getting really hard to like do work trips and stuff when I know I have to leave. Or like, I have to like sneak out because like the goodbye is super sad.
I know, and
Yeah.
I read a thing that was like, as much as possible, try not to ghost on them because it's better to tell them.
Oh yeah.
What's going on?
Like, hey, and they said rather than say just goodbye, that's what this article said. The experts, like we always say, you know, the experts take it with a grain of salt, but they say rather than just ghosting or just saying goodbye, to always focus on when you'll see them.
Mhm.
So I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
I have to go, but I'll see you soon.
I do that with even bedtime, because it's usually not like good night, you know, or you usually try to like keep a good tone about it too, like make it happy, like good night, you know, I'll see you in the morning, stuff like that. It's literally happened yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Laser.
Yeah, the same
I had the same thing. I actually stuck around for an extra 2 hours, but I had a deadline that night. But I stuck around an extra 2 hours because he said, Daddy, don't go to work, play bubbles,
Yeah.
and that was like,
He was specified what he wanted.
I know,
Yeah.
he was like, he
You
wanted.
have a plan.
He had a plan already laid out, and I was up until like 3 last night making that deadline.
Yeah.
But it, you know,
Worth it though.
Worth
Got to
it.
spend time with the little one.
Yeah, your dada heart just melts.
Yeah.
Mine for Logan still is daycare drop off.
Yeah.
Ooh, he just hates it. Well, and our problem again is that we only go like 1 day a week, so we're too inconsistent, so he's not used to it.
for him it's the
Every
outlier
time.
rather than the norm. So.
Right, and every time I drop him off, it's like, and I'm
Yeah.
like, sorry.
Yeah.
Almost
It's the
for
worst.
sure.
It's the
My
worst.
sister, she has 2 kids, and she would tell me it's really healthy for Cora to see you leave, like on a positive note, like you know, try not to cry yourself, so that like she sees that it's okay for you to go, and so you leave happy and come back happy. I thought that was a good advice because it was
That is
really
good
hard for
advice.
me to not be sad because on the inside I am crying, right?
Yeah.
But it was really good advice because at the airport I was like, okay, Cora, I've got to go to work for a little while. You'll be, you spend 2 nights with Dada, and then I'll be back. And so I try to leave on this happy note, like see you soon, like you guys were saying.
You're gonna do this while I'm gone. You're gonna do
Yes,
this
oh my
while I'm
gosh,
gone.
yes,
you're gonna
Yeah,
do
that's a
this.
great idea.
You know, you're gonna go to Disneyland. You're gonna ride
Yeah.
teacups, Tyler.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that makes that maybe hope.
That is a good strategy. Yeah. Focus on the positives.
Yeah, because you gotta be tough for the kids.
Yeah.
I know, I'm always like, you're gonna play with your friends today, it's gonna be awesome!
Yeah.
What
When
could
she
play?
asked to go with, it's really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
She's like, Mom, I want to go with you. I'm like, I really wish you would.
Yeah.
Because she's used to going with me, right?
Yeah.
All up until, she got to the point where I was just like, okay, this isn't that much
Yeah.
fun. I've seen how many convention rooms can you see before they all kind of blend together.
And you gotta, and it's one of those. They say it now, but if you buckle and you do it anyway, they're gonna be occupied for all of like 10 minutes,
Right.
and then you're stuck.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
And then so here's a question then I'll throw out about this, because I've read conflicting things. Do you think it's helpful or not helpful when you're gone on a business trip to FaceTime or Skype with the kids?
Oh, you got it, right?
May I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the very first time that I went overnight away from Cora, we did try to FaceTime, and it backfired. So voice was way better because she could talk to me and hear my voice. But as soon as she saw me through the screen, she just broke down in tears because she tried to touch me and hug me, and she wanted me to pick her up. And so it was like that. She was 2, I think, at the time. So it was at the time where she was a little younger, where she didn't understand why I was there but not there. So yeah, for me or for her and I, it did help to get a default voice-only speakerphone where Eric would hold the phone for her and we would talk. But as soon as we FaceTime, though, it was
Too sad.
too sad.
Oh, okay.
But Lasercorn, FaceTime works for you?
Yeah, we haven't had any problems like that. So when we FaceTime, when I'm at work or something, my wife will pull up the phone and be like, "Hey, Daddy," and he'll be in the tub and be like, "Look, bubbles" or something. And he doesn't. He seems to understand that I'm not actually there and that I'm.
That's
calling
cool.
him from
So maybe
another
it's an
place.
age thing.
Yeah.
Or it maybe also just comes down to every kid's different.
Yeah.
Situation too. I've never done FaceTime with Phoenix, but we do voice, and he video chats my mom, his grandma, all the time. And he actually is a little troller when we do it, because I'll call it and then I'll hand the phone to him. He's hurt? Oh no, is he hurt? Oh, he's on the scale. Oh, is he okay? Is he okay?
Doctor.
Oh, he's
How much
all
does he
good.
weigh?
He weighs. How much does he weigh, Phoenix? Anyway, I'll hand the phone over to him, and he'll be on the phone with his nana, and he'll talk to her, and then he'll just hang up. So, let's put a Band-Aid on it. Ready?
Old toddler.
Tyler, there's some more secret surprises, Tyler,
You ready?
inside the orange, and he lifts that.
Yeah, I have, my nephew would always FaceTime with his grandma on the other side of the country. And then when she came to visit the first time, he was really young, but he was so upset that she wasn't in the phone and she was there for real. He like freaked out and started crying. So she was so sad she'd flown across the country to see him, and he just cried when he saw her. But then they figured out it was because he was just used to her being in the phone. It was really thrown
You're
off.
not the phone person.
He was
You're
tiny,
supposed to play the phone.
How did you get out of the phone?
Yeah.
Trying to like shove him back in.
You're a witch.
The box, what happened to the box?
Mom Brown's a witch.
So for our multiplayer segment
Yes.
today, for our multiplayer segment today, since we have Janice here today, if you have any parenting pro tips that you have learned in your almost 4 years of being a parent, but also being someone who's into comics and sci-fi and fantasy, whether it be a convention going tip or anything, please share with our audience.
Okay, let's see. For traveling, since I did it for her for so long, definitely the whole, like, from 0 to 2, just anticipating, right? Like, I know there's the joke of, like, carrying the whole, kitchen or your whole house with a new baby, but it really did help if I brought some kind of interactive toy, like a watercolor plaything, and then of course snacks, and then Play-Doh or something for the plane. Trying to anticipate what she might like to do or something that she hasn't played with a long time. It really helped with travel. Always trying to bring some kind of interactive, something she hasn't seen in a while, something new is really helpful. And then I guess for the current present time, we kind of like with the with the boss thing is, I realized that she's gotten old enough to really absorb what our examples, and so we're really trying to teach empathy, and like it's a really hard concept when you're young.
Yeah.
And so I realized what really helps is, you know how often with kids you have to often course correct, right? But we thought, well, how cool would it be if we just offer ideas or examples that aren't in a corrective manner, that are just on positive side notes. So like, if I bring her, a cool plate of all these different foods, I'll give her examples of empathetic things to say. So like, it's not like, instead of, the normal, say thank you or whatever it is, like, I'll say something like, oh, look at these colors, look at this assortment, wow, Mama, look what what you made, or this looks cool.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like teaching her ways to assess something and options of things to empathize with what someone did.
That's
someone,
cool.
That's really cool. Instead of just saying the same old thing,
Yeah.
which is kind of just like a canned answer
Right,
nowadays.
exactly. There were moments when, you know, we would have to transition to the car, or we have to nap or something like that, and immediately kids want to be like, no, right? They want to keep playing.
Right.
So I had the idea of saying, hey, Cora, instead of saying, oh, getting angry right away, why don't we say, Mama, are there any other options? Like just phrases that you don't often hear.
Yeah.
And it worked. Like, it was crazy. The first time she went, Mama, are there any other options? I was like, it was so just polite and mature and really just soft-spoken. And then we had a dialogue about it. We'd be like, okay, well, we gotta pick up Dada soon, so we could play for 2 more minutes, and we gotta get in the car, and we're gonna pick him up. So it was like a cool...
Yeah, I was about to say, the one downside it seemed to be like was, then you have to think of options. But to play for 2 more minutes, play for 2 more minutes is a good option. And
Especially if you present the transition early enough to have options.
Sure.
So it's kind of like, okay, we can eat for a few more minutes.
Planning ahead.
We can, it was so cool to see her pick up on not only the empathy, but then thinking of alternatives rather than immediately like a conflict.
Yeah, that's great. That's great advice.
That's a super good pro
Awesome.
tip.
Yeah.
Yay! See, this is what happens when we have guests on that are a little bit more experienced than us.
Yeah, slightly.
We learn things.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's refreshing to be, like, I love that you guys do the show. I think it's fabulous that you are able to present this really warm and open sharing experience, because like you said, you do feel like isolated sometimes, where you're working and you're trying to balance family and your work and coming up with new and ways that work with your child, because everything you read doesn't work for you because your child's different.
Yeah.
I have my sister-in-law. She just had a baby. You know, she's breastfeeding. Her breasts, you know, are in pain. Her nipples are raw, and she's like, everything I read was saying if you're doing it right, it shouldn't hurt. And I was like, that's not true, because both her doctors.
The experts say.
And both our doctors were like, your babies are latching perfectly. They're doing great, and it's still, you're gonna feel pain.
How old is her baby? How new is she?
15 days.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to say like the first month. Just plan on it not being pleasant. After that, sure. Let's say if they're doing it right, you're A-okay.
You're more likely your body's getting used to it.
Yeah.
That's what's really happening.
It's really common sense, right? Because we're going through something very new for our bodies that has never round the clock, 24/7, breastfeeding every 2 hours. So of course, it's going to be uncomfortable the first month. But I told her, I was like, I promise it will get easier.
Did you just give her like a bucket of lanolin?
Yes.
Yeah, lanolin is this kind of like petroleum jelly stuff, but it's all natural, and if the babies eat it, it's okay, that you can put on there to like help. It's like chapstick to the 10th power for your boobies.
That's, I told her,
Booby
just
chapstick.
Booby chapstick.
That's all. That's it. Yeah. You should patent that. Booby chapstick.
Booby
It is
chapstick.
lanolin. Yeah.
And it just keep it on because it helps. It really does. So it's some things that you read, it makes you feel like you're doing something wrong. And I assured her, believe me, it's completely normal and natural and power through it. So I'm really glad you had this show, because it's awesome to share that things that you read sometimes doesn't apply, even if it's from the experts.
Well, and I think the things we're all used to doing, a new video game comes out and we play it all night, or we're like in a rush to speed run it or beat it before everybody else so we don't get spoilers, or binging a new series on Netflix, or staying up all night to make a deadline for the latest book that you're working on, or, you know, whatever it is. Our lives doing all that stuff before kids had to dramatically shift once we had kids. Like, we started this channel when Logan was still really young, and I was asking these guys, I was like, how do I, like, the new Luke Cage season just came out, how do I binge it? And they were both like, take the word binge out of your vocabulary. But, like, so many things that are the norm for us before having kids, and I'm sure this is like, it's like this in any field that you work in, but I feel like it's especially prevalent in what we do, because the people who do have kids don't really talk about it. Like, your work life and your family life are very separate for a lot of people that do what we do. So that's what we were like, you know, let's just talk about it, and there are more people like us that have kids. There are more
There are
parents that are
dozens of us.
gamers. Whole dozens.
They're starting to emerge slowly, but it's true. People are starting to, at least in my friend circuit, everyone's starting to have kids now.
Yeah.
And I tell them, and because when people do ask about it, and I said, it doesn't change your life, because that was my first impression. And I was like, oh, my life is like it's over. It's like, it's not over.
Well, you had a grim first impression.
I'll tell you what though, Ivan, I was the same way.
Yeah.
For like the first 3 months, I was like, what have I done to my life? Who am I anymore?
Initially, I was like, my career's over.
I thought that too.
All this stuff, but it doesn't end, but it does change.
It does change.
You know, and it doesn't change always necessarily for the worse. I actually have a better career now because of Phoenix, because it demanded that I have focus.
I agree. I'm much the same way now with Logan, that I really have to be very picky and choosy about the jobs that I take, because some of the jobs I would have just done before, that kind of ended up probably being a not very great use of my time. I literally just can't take it now with Logan and have to worry about childcare and all that stuff. So it's made me be choosier, which has only benefited my career in the long run. So.
And what's cool is I think our kids, it's cool that they're going to experience sci-fi and fantasy and geeky and nerdy things in a totally different way. When I first started writing my first book, it was about a female hero going head-to-head with a hacker, and I was offered a lucrative book deal for this book with a caveat. And this was back in 2012, and I was super excited. This huge, contract.
I know.
I can hear it coming.
Right, and as a writer, they want to get their foot in the door, and it's a big deal. And so I said, yeah, okay, let's have a meeting. And they said, okay, we love the tech, we love the gaming, we love that it's a hacker, we love that the whole premise, kind of like Ready Player One, but modern day, modern MMOs. And they said, we just need you to change Kaylee, your main heroine, to Ken.
Oh,
jeez.
On the inside, my gut is churning, and my jaw is dropping, and it was so difficult to keep this non-emotional. But I did. I respectfully declined, because in my gut, the whole reason I had written the book was to spotlight a female in tech and gaming and hackers. Like, it's rarely done, if ever, right?
Yeah.
We got Angelina Jolie, right? Old school movie, but it's not that often done.
I hope you shot that book at other places.
Yes, of course. So what's cool is that even though I had to turn down one deal and continue shopping and go a longer road, I started being asked to be on panels about female heroes. How do you create a woman hero in tech and gaming? How do you spotlight different stereotypes, right? Or in the reverse. And so how cool that we can share that with our children, like Cora, and I can share it with Cora, you can be in any industry, you can work in a stereotype male-dominated environment and own it. And I cut my teeth on Final Fantasy 11. I don't know if we have any Final Fantasy fans, but okay.
I'm 7, but yeah.
Okay, well 11 is, according to gamers, very hardcore, right? Like, you lose experience when you die, you have to kneel to get MP back and HP back. So I was on that game and get ripped for being a girl. This was back in 2002, right? So way back in 2002, they're like, you know what girl stands for in online games, right? Guy in real life.
I never heard that.
I've never heard that either.
Again, this is back in 2002,
That
right?
makes me want to very politely punch someone in the face.
Yeah.
But what it did, Trisha, is it fueled me, right? I would practice. I became such a great DPSer that I could keep up with the boys. I could beat them, and I ranked in top charts in the US. Like, I got really good, and it gave me so much great fuel for my writing, because I could inject real life experiences as a female gamer,
The culture
climbing
is
the ranks.
climbing the
Right?
ranks.
And
Where
so,
it's like,
And
That's
that
great,
snowballed into me getting more novel contracts, snowballed into game writing. So that one decision, one of the hardest decisions to make, to decline something that, doesn't feel right. It can actually open up a totally different, like you were saying, your kids can open up a totally different way of life. And it was heartbreaking, but at the same time, I'm so proud of it that I can be like, Cora, I wrote this book when it was really difficult to write a female hero in this way, and just have that story to share that you don't always have to say yes under peer pressure or under work or
That's such a good
family.
panel story. This is I can see why you're invited to do panels. This is such a good panel story. Because it's one of those, like, everyone's like, yes!
Right?
Yeah.
Hi, baby!
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Very cool. And so and you might have said this and I just missed it. Did the book actually end up coming out under a different publisher?
Yes.
Can you give us plug the book real quick?
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I have no
Tell
words
us about
to
the book.
Because you told us, you were like, and I ended up not going with it. And like in the back of my head, I'm like, but what happened to the book? Did it get published somewhere else?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
So it's called The Holder's Dominion.
The Holder's Dominion.
So the holder is the hacker. He goes by the holder, and it's his dominion basically. Because
Yeah.
he can manipulate players inside the game. He can affect their real lives. And Kaylee is still Kaylee in the book.
Nice.
And it debuted in 2013. It's been out for a few years, and it's like snowball. There's been so many people.
The Holder's Domain. Go pick it up.
Who put it out?
Adam Beavers Con Press in Chicago published it.
Okay.
And Adam G. Simon is a screenwriter writing the screenplay for it right now.
Hey!
I'm so super excited.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you get to see that on the big screen.
It's just
Yeah.
cool to see something like the book that, the little book that could, right? And then you go up this difficult track, but then you find a way to persevere. And
Yeah.
it's really cool.
That's an amazing story.
Man, I wish I had your integrity when I sold my children's book.
Yeah.
So,
What happened?
I sold the rights off. Hey, Phoenix, I need you to talk to me. I know you want Daddy's attention right now, and I am right here, okay? But do you want to put it in there? Okay. He is definitely. I need to work on. I like this idea though of the
Options.
trying to give them options.
Yeah.
Phoenix, look at me. Hey, do you want to talk to me right now, or can you talk to me in just a little second when Daddy's done talking? Because when Daddy's trying to talk, it's really upsetting when you try to talk over me. Okay? Look
Yeah.
at me.
Showing off the vintage toys.
Yeah.
Yay!
Tyler, hey, please, Tyler. Hey, Tyler, please don't climb on that. Thank you.
That one can fit a bunch of the little characters.
Yeah.
You
All
spin
of
it
these.
around.
It's like a playground, Ty.
He's busy.
Awesome. Well, we should probably sign off because the
Yeah.
kids are getting restless. But Janice, where can people find you online?
Okay, yes, JaniceDavis.com. Remember, interesting spelling, GENESE. And of course, I'm on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. I try to be. I fail at it pretty much every day, but I try to be. But yeah, I'll be in Chicago for some panels and book signings. I'll be in Tulsa coming up.
Nice.
Austin, anybody like Austin, Texas?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah,
Nice
live
town.
music,
Awesome
right?
town.
Capital. And then after that, I'll be in Springfield and Montgomery and Philadelphia.
Wow, a lot of
So
travel.
yes, every month I'm somewhere,
Yeah.
and I met Trisha at San Diego Comic Con. She
Yeah.
just came off of that,
Yeah.
and I wish I could take you guys, but
Yeah.
we came together today.
Yeah, it was great meeting you. And thank you so much for coming on. And thank all of you for watching.
Thank you.
So make sure and leave a comment. Tell us how you deal with travel and leaving your little ones. Give us your tips. And we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking right here. And if you want to check out last week's podcast, you can go ahead and click right over here. And as always, don't forget to like and leave a comment. All right, see ya.